The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And we've got a penalty marker down here as he's able to get this only to the 20-yard line. Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Jackson on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 32 that time. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second and 12, Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Throwing on first down. Sawyer. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return will stop right around the 25. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson, this one complete to Ingram. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and just like that, it's third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes and gets the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Switch.
Back to throw. Sawyer. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Sawyer. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Get out the field, defense.
On the draw, they go to Geis. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. But they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check.
From the gun, Sawyer. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 38 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. To try here for the extra point. And the kick here is good with a penalty flag down as well. And they may have run into him after the kick went away. So 5 yards for running into. Lucky it wasn't 15 for roughing.
No doubt about it, because they protect the kickers and the guys holding the ball almost as much as they protect quarterbacks in the pocket. They don't want those types of injuries. This will be fielded at the 6.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 22-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Baltimore.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And that is incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Mark Ingram. Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, Jackson. Complete. Richardson has it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Geis. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. On the ground, it's Geis. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. On 1st and 10, Sawyer. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. He sets to fire deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Jackson now. Got a man. It's Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. This is caught by Antonio Brown. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Check. Hey, we're going Mike 40. Double dog. That's the way.
On first down, Sawyer. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. To throw again, Sawyer. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot, and that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on second down. Jackson over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got it first and goal at the 7. Jackson will throw again. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Here's Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Ryan Switzer on the return. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
On the
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to a big seam, and he might go all the way. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 66 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Lane. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here we go. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Check 50.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw on 2nd down. Sawyer. He'll dump this one off to counter. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Sawyer. That's complete to his running back counter. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down, Sawyer. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Sawyer. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Sawyer. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that? And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what ended up.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and they open the lead up now to 25. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Jackson operating from the gun. Jarrell Casey with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Set. 6 yards. Stinky. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Check 31. Check 31. Watch safety green. Let's go. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And the Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw. Sawyer. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Connor running right. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
At the 27-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Connor. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Rush in. Rush in. Shift. Zip it. Motion. Mike 40.
From the gun, Sawyer. He gets it to Brown, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. On the run is Connor. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
At the 6-yard line.
Again, it'll be Connor. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory.
Check this.
They'll try to surge ahead with Connor. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
Ready, 60 outlaw, like 50. Coming to you, coming to you.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football
Yeah.
where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Steelers, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special.